Everybody, welcome back to the Buddy Pass Podcast, episode 21, brought to you by the Basketball Perspective. Just like every
21.
week, it's me, Chris Rafferty, Brett Timmons, and Eddie Crowley. Boys,
Yes, sir.
it's honestly been a while since we talked. What have we been up to?
Oh, I was dead for a little while over the weekend after I got my second COVID shot. So
Lifestyle.
did you, right?
Yeah,
Didn't
I
you
was
get
it
your second one?
knocked me
So
out, bro.
I know
Oh,
I had
you
a.
you had a hard time too?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Weren't
didn't
you
know
fine?
that.
You were like fine after yours, right, AIDS? Weren't you
No,
like? Oh, you
no.
weren't.
Remember,
I
because
thought
you
you were
guys
like.
you guys made me play Chell that night, and I felt
We
like
did not
garbage.
make you.
You did.
No, that's
Raph
the
did.
night when he was Mr. Poopy Pants.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I thought I was always Mr. Poopy Pants.
But you were extra Poopy Pants.
Yeah. I had like 3 hours of sleep that night, because I like couldn't sleep, headache, fever.
Yeah.
And then the next day I just had like a headache all day, but then I was pretty much fine. So
That's good, yeah. Nah, shit.
brutal, but
I wasn't expecting it to be like that either, like that bad.
you know.
I was a bag of soup for like 2 whole days.
It's a different
I mean,
feeling, right?
yeah,
Like
dude.
everything just hurts.
Like the first dose, I was like totally fine. Like
Mhm.
didn't have anything, like not even the slightest headache, nothing. And this one was just like pretty much right when I got home, I like started to feel like the slightest headache. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this is gonna get worse.
A little
So
bit of a hangover for mine too. When I woke up that next day, it was brutal. But um, besides that, what have you guys really been up to? Just really been posting up.
yes.
Yeah. I was in New York
Oh, that's right.
Saturday through yesterday. I came home yesterday. For my girlfriend Emily lives in New York. Shout out the great state. So was there this weekend celebrating her sister's birthday, and they had like a grad party for her. So a lot of family.
Is it a
So
high
it
school grad or college grad?
college grad.
College grad, that's it.
Well, no, like her. So they had like a joint party. So it was her college graduation and her sister's birthday. They kind of had like a joint thing.
That's it.
And so obviously with COVID and stuff, it's been a while since I've like been with a large group of people,
Yeah.
and there were like 50 people at the party that they had the other day. And
Major.
when I tell you that I was wiped out afterwards,
Mhm.
like is an understatement. I have not been that social in over a year.
Your social
Yeah.
battery was just
My social,
drained.
oh my, there was nothing left. I was
I feel
dead.
that. I feel that, dude. I think since like COVID, like in the quarantines, I feel like my social battery life is way less than it used to be.
You got to build the tolerance back up.
Yeah, literally. Or maybe we're just getting old. I feel like that's
Or
like an
it
old
could be
person
that
thing.
too.
Yeah.
Another, I know, I think I said it last week or 2 weeks ago when we hopped on the pod here. I said it was super hard for us to like just get onto the Zoom. It's 9 a.m. right now.
Dude.
If
I was
any
gonna say that. I was gonna say like for
anyone
you listening.
anyone who knows us knows that us being up at 9 a.m. right now, Raph doesn't have his coffee. Brett, I assume you don't have a coffee in you.
No,
Like this is
I have a
uncharted.
banana in me.
This is uncharted territory.
Yo?
What? Dude,
What did you say?
What end? What end?
Oh, well, I ate a banana.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Say it like that next time.
Dude,
Thank you.
I'm not thinking before I speak
I
right
know.
now.
My
dude,
point
I-
exactly.
Not a drop of cold brew in my veins right now.
Yeah, so if we sound awful, more awful than we usually do, it's
Yeah.
because it's 9 a.m.
I'm also fucking
So,
this pollen. I'm gonna fight the pollen. It is fucking me up right now. For the past week, it has been jumping me.
Do you take meds?
Dude, I take this like Flonase thing that's like for
Oh,
allergies,
yeah.
Zyrtec, Mucinex.
Zyrtec doesn't work.
Yeah, no, that
Zyrtec is
shit
a
really
fraud.
works. All that shit's fucking tapped. I do like the Flonase shit though. That shit.
is that the thing you like squirt?
Yeah, you know that shit's addicting. You get addicted to it.
I feel like I've heard that before.
What?
You have
Yeah.
to do it. You have to do it like a shit ton though. Like,
Yeah, it's like a nasal
Yeah.
sensation or some shit like that, like a fixation. I don't get it. No,
I've had to do that
guys.
for like stuffy noses before and shit, but
Shit's whack.
I hate it.
I also I've seen online if you like press on
That's what I do.
the bridge of your nose, like it'll like your sinuses will clear. And I've done it before and it like actually works.
I I do that like every day when I'm just
Really?
posting. I'm like dying. I'll just
Ref's just like.
like my third eye awakens.
I've never heard that. That's weird. I'll have to try that.
I've been kind of buzzing lately, boys.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that point where I'm actually doing shit during the summer. Like, for
His
example,
engine's revved up.
this week, I got a job at the 99 because my internship due to COVID is only 3 days a week. So I was like, pocket change, let's get it going. They signed me. I was previously a dishwasher at Panera for about 5 years.
I saw this tweet.
I left the game. I'm like the Brian Giotta of dishwashing. Like, you'll just bring me back when you need a guy, but I'll still make an Olympic roster.
Old reliable.
Unreliable. So
You are old
they
reliable.
signed me. I signed for the vet minimum. You know, that's the only way to build a dynasty is you need the guys to take the pay cuts. So that was me.
You need
roll
that
nines.
veteran leadership.
Yeah,
in the
roll
kitchen.
nines. Roll nines. So yeah, I've been doing that all week. Been sanding my aunt's deck and painting it.
That's right.
I just been buzzing around town. Like, I haven't played like shell like this entire week. I probably haven't played like legit shell like an entire week.
Wow.
That's
You are getting old, huh?
dude. I
Yeah.
realized I had an epiphany like a few days ago where like I
Big
could,
word.
you know, like yeah, whew. You know, like how your brain is really fully developed, at least for a dude. Most dudes still live like 40, but like technically, like I think it's like 22 is when your brain like fully develops.
I think it's 25, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Some
25.
shit like that. I could feel my brain developing and becoming more mature when I drove by Doug's and didn't get a second coffee of the day.
You can
That's what I
feel the
was like.
folds like
Yeah,
Wow.
being created.
I could feel the wrinkles just like coming off. I was like, yo. And then last night too, I had to bring this up, so I don't really want to do a whole segment of it at the end of the podcast for men's league for the summer league team. So we got there 2 hours early. This tailgate in the parking
Oh
lot.
my god.
Probably had about like 5 beers before. I was feeling a little in one. We go and play this team. They're the number one team. In 3 games, they've scored 23 goals already. Yeah, they're fucking dirty. We lost, but we had a fanny, dude, of like
Oh shit.
over 20 people in the stands. It was like when we were tailgating with everyone, and
Just like kids from your town.
yeah, it's like people we just know to like come
Damn.
through and like, you know, it's fun before you're just like snapping around. Like the
Yeah.
parking lot, there were more people in the parking lot there to watch us than we had players on the team.
Oh my
And
god.
it was like,
Whoa.
yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
wild.
And then our coach Stark gets thrown out. He gets
No
thrown out for
way.
basically calling this like, I mean, this ref was kind of just like a loser, but you know, it's whatever. You know, no hate, but he gets thrown out, yelling at his ref the first 5 minutes. He doesn't last. He doesn't even last till halfway through the first period, and then we tie this. We're so close to tying the game. It's 5-4. This seems nasty, and all you hear from the stands is Stark just start screaming the miracle speech. All you hear is him go, "Boys, great moments." I'm like, dude, like, come on. It was so unreal. Just like absolute bar. They were just yelling the entire game, just chirping. It was crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was really fun. We lost. We lost like I think it's 6-9.
Ooh.
Not
Okay.
even
Nice.
kidding. So
Still
yeah,
scored 6 on him though.
yeah. They were just too much to handle.
Yeah.
But whatever. So
It's a
yeah.
long season. It's a long season.
It's a long
Funny
season.
how
out
you
there.
laugh.
We're gonna change our name again too. Every time we lose, we're changing our name. So
Jesus.
yeah, that's really all I got. I just wanted to throw that out there before I don't really want to do it at the end of the episode today.
Yeah.
So
Playoffs.
ready to get into playoffs here.
Alright,
Big
fellas.
playoff
Yeah,
special.
we don't
Where do
have
we want to
any.
start?
No hot seat teams to review this week because we didn't do them last week. So we can pick some at the end of this episode though. Pick a playoff team that in a series or something.
Sure.
But where do we want to start?
You want to start in the East?
Yeah, I feel like that's
Yeah.
Lowest
So we'll
most.
go.
That's just how I have it in my notes, so that's why I said
Okay.
it.
okay.
So Isles Pens. Isles took the first game there, got up 1-0 in overtime. But then the Pens have come back and won the next two, so they're currently up 2-1. we are recording this on Friday morning, so this is up until Thursday night games. But what did you guys predict for that series? What do you think's gonna happen there?
I think I had Pens in 6. I changed it.
I think I might have had Pens in 5.
I had 5 or 6. I think I gave the Islanders a sneaky extra game.
See, I did pen. We all had Pens. I did them
Yeah.
in 7 though, because I actually almost went Islanders. I always hate like I always feel like I sleep on the Islanders and they somehow
yeah.
just like pull it off.
You
Like,
went-
it's just
happened to be
1 or
3
2
years straight.
rounds.
Yeah.
You went
like-
Pittsburgh in 7.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And but I remember wanting to do 7, but I was debating Isles or Pittsburgh for a little bit. And just because like I feel like I always sleep on the Islanders, but this time I was like, dude, Malkin's gonna be back in a few games. I think he's, or well, is he? I know
don't
he was
know
like
if
skating. I think
didn't
he's
play
know-
last night.
He didn't play last
no,
night.
but
No,
he
I
was
don't think
like
played last
he
night.
was like
Then he's
he was
close.
like
'cause
skating with them,
yeah.
and they were like sort of not expecting him, but he was like day to day or whatever.
he
for
was
games 2 and 3.
He was questionable.
Yeah, so I assume he'll be back maybe in game 4, which would be tomorrow, as in Saturday, or if not, hopefully game 5. So I was just like, dude, like playoff Crosby, playoff Malkin, Jeff Carter's coming in hot.
Yeah.
He had like 2
Tanev.
Genos last night in that game.
Tanev just looked really good.
Tanev,
Playoff
so I was
Tanev.
like, I gotta just go Penguins. I feel like the
Yeah.
Islanders have edge on goaltending with Varlamov, but he hasn't looked.
Can I go?
I mean, he missed game 1, so
Can I just say something real quick
go ahead.
right off that point? Is like I think these two teams are really well matched up against each other, and that's why I think it's going to be a great series. And I would love a game 7, but this whole thing is going to lay on the goaltending. The goaltending on
Yep.
both sides has been awful, and that could just swing a whole series. Like
Oh,
if
yeah.
they're just 2 solid goaltenders on each side, this is a 7-game series without a doubt. The way they've been playing each other. But I mean, you got shitty goals going glove side on professional goaltenders in the NHL. Like, man, I don't. They need to
Yeah.
figure. One side needs to figure it out.
You're
And
talking
that-
about
that's
that
how they're
goal
gonna
the
get
other
the
night,
edge.
right? That just like
The
was shot
Varlamov
from
goal?
the boards.
With
Yeah.
the Varlamov
And just,
goal,
like-
and then the Tristan Jarry, I don't think has a glove hand. I think he just left it at home.
He's playing. He's only got one arm. He's like the
Yeah.
football player with like
He-
it's halfway up his forearm.
He's a
That's all
soul
he's got.
surfer.
Yeah.
It's like that dude. So like if either of those teams wants to even get by the second round, let alone this round, they're gonna have to figure that goaltending out. And
Yeah.
besides that, both teams have, not a lot of holes for criticism when it comes to team play.
I mean,
It's-
sorry, you can go.
Oh, I just have 2 points. So to build off that, Raf, I think we're seeing the same thing in the Tampa Florida series,
Yeah.
where it's like every game there's, I think 6-5 last night, 5-4 the first night. What it was 3-1, I think for game 2.
Yes.
Like you've got Bob in net, you've got Vasi in net, you've got Drieger in it, like all these goalies who had like Vezina seasons, except for Bob. Bob didn't really have a Vezina season,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing. It's like, again, they're superstar studded teams, but it's the goaltending's got to figure it out. The other point that I wanted to make about the Pens and Isles series is how well is that Paul Mary trade paying off for the Islanders right now?
So good.
2 goals in game 1. He's got a couple
Including the
points
OT
since
winner.
then. Yep. Like that. He just looks perfect. He has sunk
Yeah.
in really well in that lineup.
Yeah.
And they're down 0-3 in this series if they don't have Paul Mary.
I
Yeah.
don't want to see them get to the finals only because I don't want to see Paul Mary being the hairiest man to ever walk the planet. If they get to the finals, he's literally gonna have hair poking out of his jersey. Like it's gonna be crazy. I don't want to see that. That's disgusting.
And
I,
not even like a little bit. It's gonna be like this
Bush.
far out of his jersey.
Yeah, it's disgusting. He's gonna be like one of those little cheetah pets.
Oh, gross.
But yeah, no, you're definitely right about that Tampa series, and I think the game plan for Florida, they have the star power, they have the depth. You just gotta hold the Kucherovs and the Stammers. They're gonna get their goal.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get their point. Don't let them get 3. Try to hold them to 2 maximum. Don't let them get Don't let them get going. Don't give them their touches that game, but they're gonna get one. So you just got to get like Lumberg last night with the OT winner. Frank Vetrano has been all over. Verhage, all those guys. That's when you need guys like that when the Kucherovs are off the ice to be putting the puck in the back of the net. But on Tampa side, you got guys again like this Ross Colton kid. Not only in a regular season out of nowhere, dude. He's showing up in the offs too. So a lot of this series is just going to be toe to toe matchups. That's where the coach comes in.
You said something. I think as you Raf said something about how evenly matched the Pens and Islanders are, or maybe it was AIDS. But I was just gonna say I feel the same way about the Caps and Bruins,
Yeah.
and also that again, one of you said something about how you don't think like the Islanders will make past the second round or something like that. I think that whatever the matchup is for the East in the next round, the Caps or Bruins, whoever wins that series will win the next one, whether
Yeah.
they play the Pens or Isles. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
Mhm.
So that was my little thought prediction I had. But Bruins, we can move into Bruins and Caps now because I just sort of brought them up about
Yeah,
how
nice little
evenly matched
segue.
they are. I mean, 4 overtimes in 3 games. You know, I think it's like 12 playoff games between these two teams have been settled by 1 goal.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. What stat did you lead that with? Four.
What?
You
I
said
said they've played 4 overtimes in 3 games.
4 overtime periods.
Yeah.
Oh, I get
I
it.
figured that was just
Yeah.
assumed. I didn't think I had to clarify that.
What would you
No,
assume would make an ass out of you and me?
Oh my God.
asshole.
But no, yeah, you're definitely right. I think these are two really not like they don't play the same style, but
No.
skill wise, just like everything else about these teams, all these cofactors really balance each other out. And that's why you've seen 4 overtime periods is because it's like a game of chess, man. Who's gonna fuck up first? And you saw that in that last game. Craig Smith capitalizing on just a brain fart. And I mean, those
Mhm.
guys, I mean, I think that was Schultz's fault as a D man in my previous life.
I
That's on
thought it was on
Schultz.
Schultz too.
That's on
Yeah.
Schultz. I mean, yeah, Samsonov maybe could have been a little bit more aware of the
Could have
situation.
like passed it or something.
There was
Yeah.
there
But
was no communication.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
that's what
they
it was. It was
both
a
they
communication
both
thing.
thought the other was gonna pick
Yeah.
it up and move it.
Also, just a big hustle play from Smith. That's what I
Yeah.
love about Smith. He realized they weren't communicating and just busted into the puck. But what was it? Shit, what was I just gonna say? Oh, I think this is what I was gonna say. Kind of forgot my thought. But all the series so far have just been like, I mean, the Canadian ones just started the last couple nights, but all the other ones so far have had like scrums after like most whistles and
Yeah.
like all this stuff, and I love that about it. I know that's sort of been like one of the talking points all year is like what's this whole format gonna play, or what's this whole format going to be like with teams facing each other so much in the regular season and then again in the first round of playoffs and second round. Um, and I'm loving it so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to put that thought in there, but
Yeah, the
Um,
Bruins games have been tough.
yeah,
They've been chippy, they've been energetic, and it's been fun to watch.
yeah,
The one thing though, I know Bruins are up in the series, but 2 guys that I want to watch and I want to step up. First of all, Pastrnak.
oh
Yeah.
my God, yeah,
Yeah, Pastrnak. He's through the regular season. He did play great defensively. He was good
Yeah.
positionally.
Mhm.
He struggled to put the puck in the net. In this game 3, though, I didn't really like his effort. I thought he was lacking a little bit. It didn't look like he looks like a frustrated, lost player, which I get
Yeah.
yeah,
because
Yeah.
goal scoring has come so naturally to him, and he's had a down year. So he looks off. He looks lost. But I hope he can keep up that grind. The other player is Charlie Coyle. I think he did have a good game 3. I will say he did have a good game 3. I liked his play in the overtime periods, but I think another guy with there haven't been a lot of goals in this series. And I mean, you said it before, Raf. This series is going to be won on like mistakes and and kind of grit a little bit. And I think Charlie Coyle, a third line guy, is one of those guys that kind of has to step up for Boston. Um, Other than that, I think the fucking both lineups are pretty good. Caps are getting that depth scoring when their top guys aren't going.
Yeah,
Hathaway
dude,
and Dow,
that
dude.
Hathaway Dowd
Hathaway.
Hagelin line is
Oh my
nasty.
God,
They're
dude.
sick.
They're so sick.
And that's what I
Hagelin
want.
flies too. I always
I
forget
know,
how
bro.
fucking fast this guy is.
And he's like mid 30s now too.
By
Like
now,
he's not
yeah.
a
He's
young
gotta
guy
be.
anymore.
But yeah, I think I agree with you. I think more of my milk carton would lie on Kevin Miller. I think he's
Mm.
made a lot of mistakes and just hasn't really looked confident out there. He's had his moments where he's his OG Kevin Miller, but I have to completely disagree with Charlie Coyle.
Really?
I think he's been all over the ice. He's been making plays, smart plays. Charlie's biggest tool in his kit is his patience and his poise with the puck. And I think he's making great decisions out there, playing good both sides of the puck. I love him. I love him at center right now. And he had that nice move, and I believe it was game 2 where he faked the clapper, pushed it, wrapped around, laid it out front, and right for DeBrusque goal. So
Playoff Jake,
that
baby.
yeah, and Jake DeBrusque is a guy that's finally stepped up. And man, I mean, hey, who gives a fuck about the regular season?
Yep.
Playoffs is what you don't really win anything for a regular season. You win in the playoffs. That's the only way. You got to get into the dance, and then you can win. So, you know, you know. How do you guys think about the goaltending in this series? I think it's been kind of interesting.
On Boston's end, Rask has been playoff Rask for the
Yeah,
most
he's
part.
been
He,
asked.
for the most part, he looks solid, but
Yeah.
there's a few here and there where it's like you could have had that.
Not stealing games,
mean-
but he's definitely keeping us in all these games.
Yes.
I think
You
he has like
gotta
a 9.26 right now, save percentage.
something like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
crazy.
I had to, I sort of realized like through the first 2 games, just the first 2, Caps had 6 goals, and I want to say 4 of them, maybe just 3, were like deflections. So like, not that not that he shouldn't have those, but like,
He gets a little
it's
bit of a
yeah,
benefit
it's
of the doubt.
understandable, when it's deflected a bunch of times through a 5-man screen. But so I mean, yeah, I totally agree. It's a playoff Rask. I didn't expect any less. But for the Caps, I mean,
They got a
Bruins have had to shoot on 3 different goalies here.
revolving
First
door.
Vanacek, and then and then Anderson, and now Samsonov, who I was kind of nervous with Samsonov coming in the 3rd game. I thought he'd, sort of give him a chance, or give the Caps a chance, which I mean he did. It went to 2 overtimes,
Yeah,
but
he did look good.
yeah, no,
gotta
he
give
did.
it where it's due.
He did.
For not playing in 2.5 weeks,
Yeah.
he played a lot better than I anticipated.
He just
Yeah.
can't keep the puck in his fucking glove, dude. I've never seen a guy with with a lack of rebound control. I mean,
What's
that's
up with
probably
the glove hand in this playoffs?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but one person I do think has looked absolutely unbelievable is John Carlson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks really good on both sides of the puck right now. He's breaking up 2-on-1 passes. He's playing really, really good defensively, and he's just being John Carlson on offense, starting things, rushing the puck. I think he's looked really good. And I've never really been, I know he's always been good, and I know he's a Norris caliber player, but I never really took a deep look at him. And for the first time ever, I'm really seeing that. So I like John Carlson's game a lot. Good American boy.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna bring up a different series, so you can go.
All right, so I was just gonna make one more point. It's been a tight series so far. Obviously, 3 overtimes in 4 periods. I'm anxiously awaiting the difference that Chara is gonna make, though. Towards the end of the season, when everyone's kind of beat down, I know he doesn't have a bigger role in Washington as he does Boston, but it's fucking playoff Chara.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about him beating down on Boston if he gets a chance, just because we've seen him in the playoffs so many times.
He's been rocking some dudes.
Yeah,
too.
I know he has.
Laying some guys out. I see that, and I'm like, that's a
About-
heartbreak.
About what you said, AIDS, though, real quick. I know I saw a video on Twitter, Instagram, or something where somebody asked Bruce Cassidy about Chara and stuff going into the series, and he he pretty much just said like they haven't even felt like his true impact yet.
Yeah.
You know, like going into the playoffs with Chara is a whole different story than playing the regular season with him. Obviously, having coached him for 5-6 years, Bruce knows. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I don't know if you saw that too. You might have, but I wanted to bring up just to. I mean, this will be a quick one, get it over with. But the Canadian series, North Division series,
Yeah.
both only one game have been played, but in both of them, 1-0 being led by the underdog in both.
Yeah.
Canadians pulled it off last night. First of all, prayers to John Tavares.
Oh yeah, we
Hopefully,
gotta talk
hopefully
about
he's
that.
all right. That was just a
Brutal
freak play.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure
He
most
was
people have seen
responsive.
it. Yeah, he
He
like gave a
got
little
back to the
thumbs up,
hospital,
and
he was responsive and conscious. They
I saw
said.
that too. Yeah, so I mean, he'll be out for a bit, but I'm
He's
sure he'll be
oh,
okay. So
I
What do you
don't
guys think about the fight that ensued after
So,
for answering the bell?
yeah.
What do you guys
So
think about this?
my first thought was like, okay, that's like kind of weird because like it was obviously an accident. Perry was
Yeah.
just skating up the ice, and Tavares had gotten hit by someone else and was sort of on his way up or whatever, and Perry's knee caught Tavares's head, and so I was like a little weirded out, I guess, in a way by the fight. But then I saw last night, I think, or this morning on Instagram where Corey Perry was asked about the fight was with Nick Foligno, and Perry was asked about it afterwards, and he basically just said that Nick said, "Let's settle it now. I know it's an accident, but Tavares is our captain."
Yeah.
And so I was like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
that's that makes sense. Like he knows, it obviously wasn't intentful, but like Foligno has to do what he has to do. He's
Yeah.
that guy. So
going back, I got out of my men's league game last night, and I
Did you
saw.
bring a speaker?
No, I didn't bring a speaker. Shut the fuck
Fucking
up.
weirdo. Can't believe you asked me that
plays with
question.
dads, dude.
Top 3 worst questions I've ever been asked.
My bad, dude. My bad.
Bring
I'm
a
playing.
speaker to men's league. I'm gonna sit there and talk about politics the whole time instead.
No, we talk about jobs and families. So get with
That's
it, bud.
depressing.
You're
That's
depressing. So anyway, got out of men's league last night and watched the play, and I was like, "Holy shit!" So first glance, watched it. I had no idea who clipped him. I had no idea whose knee it was, and then I went back and I was like, "Fuck! It is Perry."
Yeah.
So I was on Twitter actually like just now this morning, and there are people that are like, "Oh, this is why this game is like too dangerous, like fucking player safeties, piece of shit." Like this is
Wait, talking about the fight or the knee to the head?
talking about the knee.
Oh, okay.
There were people on there that are like, "Why did he fight? Like it was obviously an accident," which I get, but
Yeah.
he's
But
the
so did
captain.
Foligno.
I feel like it was more to just break the momentum and just
Yes,
Yes.
just leave it be. We can move on afterwards.
yes. But so I was on Twitter. All these guys are talking about how unsafe the game is. Buddy, it's a freak accident. This could have happened to any player in any game on any team.
No, and any sport, dude.
In
Like
any
baseball, a
sport,
line
yes.
drive could go to someone's head. In football, we've seen
Or like someone
crazier shit
sliding into
happen.
a base
Think
or
about-
something, dude.
Think
Something,
about
yeah.
Shazier
Yeah.
2 years ago. Just a
Yeah.
freak hit, and he goes
Yeah.
down, and he can't move his legs. Like completely incidental. There's no control over it.
Well,
So
like the Kevin Ware incident, that basketball
Oh, dude, I
player, like
forgot
dude,
about that.
crazier shit has
2 years
happened in
ago.
Yes.
sports.
So
Yeah.
I just it was just like so funny when I realized that it was Perry who did hit him in the head.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck, that is like vintage Perry. But
yeah.
no, obviously it was an accident, and it's really sad. And I didn't watch much of that game, but I can't help but feel like that kind of deflated the Leafs a little bit. I don't know if you guys watched the game at all, but
A little bit.
I don't know how many 1-goal games the Maple Leafs have had this year. I can't imagine it's many. But I don't know. It's just like watching the highlights this morning, it just looked like they were a little deflated.
Wade
No.
Simmons said afterwards, he was like, in the press conference afterwards, he was like, the boys are a little shook right now.
Yeah. So I don't want to say that that's why they lost,
No.
Yeah.
but that's definitely losing your captain, losing not even your captain, John Tavares. Like
Yeah.
you don't hear a bad thing about this guy.
Yeah.
So I think it's enough to kind of throw them off a little bit. And again, hopefully he's okay. And I think this will be a long series, and it'll be
Oh,
fun.
baby, the Habs.
I didn't expect
Maybe
it.
maybe they, since they listen to the podcast, all of them over there in Montreal, they were like, "Fuck, okay, we didn't win the division for Raf. We'll win the cup instead." I'm like, okay, I'll take that.
God,
Carey Price though
dude,
looked vintage, looked really, really good.
it was the old playoff Carey Price.
Old playoff lateral movement, left to right, the pushes, everything. I
That's what I
loved
was
it.
going to say. That's one of the only things I have in my notes is, can Price be his old playoff self after a tough season? And fucking he was last night.
Yeah,
I had the Leafs winning that series as well as the next round of playoffs, and I know it's only one game, but like I'm already a little nervous. Usually, like
They're
the
cursed,
Bruins went
dude.
down one game, and I was like, oh, they're fine. It's one game, but like, dude,
because my thing with
Habs looked
playoffs,
really good, man.
my thing with playoffs is like it's just such like a different. It's its own season, and you
Yeah.
need to know how to win it in a different way than a regular season game or
Mhm.
even a
Yeah.
regular season for a President's Trophy. With playoffs, you need guys that, you know, not only could put the puck on the net or stop pucks from going. You need guys that know how to win a series
Yeah.
and then string that along to more than one series. So there's 4 rounds, and you need guys like that to show up. It's not just about the great flashy goals or Austin Matthews with a Richard. It doesn't really matter that you just have a Richard Trophy winner right now. Yes, it's nice to have, but you're gonna need guys that need to know how to step up and play. Like, I mean, Freddie only let in 2 goals last night. You see what I'm saying?
But it was
What?
Campbell.
Yeah, Freddie hasn't
Oh,
played
It was
yet.
oh, that
Campbell.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
what happened to Freddie? Is he not play?
He hasn't played since he got
He's not
hurt.
back. I thought he's back though. Isn't he healthy? Isn't he playing? I thought he was
I don't.
playable.
He might be playable, but
I'd
he
still
hasn't
start Campbell
he
anyway.
hasn't started for the Leafs in a long time. I
Like
think.
months.
I thought he was coming back for game one.
I
My
would
mistakes.
honestly, if game one was his first game back, I wouldn't play him.
Yeah, I would have started Campbell.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I wouldn't
just-
play if you
Yeah.
haven't played an NHL game in
Uh,
4 or 5 weeks. I wouldn't start him for game one.
I saw some crazy stat where Carey Price went down because he went down for like the A just to like get a game in before the offs.
Him and
Uh,
Gallagher, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Toronto Marlies scored more goals on him than the Leafs last night, like in their respective games.
Whoa. I
Yeah,
did not know that.
I don't know the exact score, but I mean they only put up one on him, so
Yeah. That's wild.
That
I
is
know that's
wild.
pretty sick. If I'm the Toronto Marlies, I'm like, yeah, we're nasty. Follow us up, Taxi Squad legend.
Get
Uh,
Matthews out of there.
The other kind of headline going into this series was Canadians coach said that Caulfield, Kotkaniemi, and Romanov were not going to be starting in game one. They're all going to be scratched.
I get it, I guess.
So
guess.
it actually, I didn't think about it until you just said it, Raf, because you said, playoffs are a different season. You need to know how to win, and you need to know how to win differently. So the first point on that I was going to make was there's maybe 3 guys in the Maple Leafs locker room that have played in the second round.
Yeah.
So I was going to say that's why they're cursed. But the other thing, kind of moving into the topic that I just brought up, these are all like young guys, dude. So
Yeah.
on the one hand, I get it, but that's a lot of skill and speed that you're leaving out of your lineup. That obviously they won last night, didn't need it, but
Yeah.
would it have been any different with them in there?
I would have put
But they
Romanov
only-
in.
That's what I have in my notes is I would have at least Romanov in there because I think
Yeah.
he's been a good defenseman for the team this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was pretty much going to say that. I was going to say I think all 3 of them is a little too much.
Yeah.
Like keep one, maybe a second one of them in the
Even
lineup.
Kotkaniemi, dude, I like his game a lot. He reminds me of like kind of like a Heischer.
Yeah.
I'm high on this kid. I think he's highly talented.
Into
Um,
in terms of production, down year. But no, I still
Yeah.
like a Pasternak year. You know, he kind of
Yeah.
played gritty. He embraced the role that he had this year, and
Yeah.
I thought he was a big reason why they did so well at the start.
Yeah. He's like a two-way guy, in my opinion. Like he has those
Yeah.
shades of being like a Heisha or like a Couturier. They're not like, upper echelon skill
Mhm.
point production, but I think he'll be a nice little two-way
Word
player in his
guy.
prime. I don't even need a coffee to
I
get
was just
positive.
gonna
I don't even
say.
fucking need one. I'm gonna quit coffee and now I'm getting one the moment this ends. But yeah, do you guys want to switch gears a little bit to the Edmonton series?
Yeah.
Yes.
How
So yeah, the Jets Oilers. Jets took game 1 4-1.
no,
Held Drysdale and McDavid to 0 points. The one Oilers goal was Poop Jarvie, assisted by Barry and Nurse.
it's the respect of my man.
I
Dude,
know.
you know I love Pugliarvi.
I know, I love him.
It was Pugliarvi assisted by Barry and Nurse. So I mean, dude, we all know that's the most obvious way to beat the Oilers is score 3 or 4 and just shut down McDavid and Drysdale.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it appears they know how to do that and do it well. The Jets, which is weird because McDavid had 22 points in 9 games against them in the regular season. He was over 2 points per game against them, but I mean, dude, they got 9 games to study on how to shut him down, so they clearly did. And if they can do it, they might be able to pull it off. But
that was my question was like, how are they going to shut those guys down? Like, you just said the stat.
yeah,
He had fucking how many points in 9 games?
22 and 9.
How is that defensively weaker team with no Ehlers? How is this team going to shut those guys down? And
It didn't even look good.
no, it didn't look like a fun game to watch.
Dude, Winnipeg did not look like they played 4-1 good.
No, they just
I don't
rolled.
get it.
They rolled their lines, and that
Yeah.
was it. So,
Yeah,
but
they
you know what? If it fucking works, it works. And I know that Blake Wheeler is a big part of that playoff culture there. That dude's a fucking stud. And Hellebuck, the only other thing I have in my notes is Hellebuck needs to stand on his head if they want to win this series.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to hold McDavid and Draisaitl to 0 points every single game.
Yeah.
So
he had 32 saves, faced 33 shots. So
yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So if they can hold McDavid and Dry to 1 or 2 points, every game, every other game, then you're going to set yourself up for success.
And the Jets also scored their 4 goals on 22 shots.
That's what I was going to bring up, dude.
Take advantage of that weak goaltending, man. Or well,
Like,
Mike Smith's
Mike Smith is you can't call him weak.
I know. I whenever I think of like Oilers goaltending, I always forget Mike Smith for a second and go right to Koskinen and think it's just like super weak. But Mike Smith is solid. Yeah.
But like I get there's also like, of those 22 shots, probably a lot of them were very high danger shots rather than just, dinky little shots. But I mean, dude, come on. You're going to let that happen? I mean, McDavid needs to step up too. Like, you cannot. Like, I'm sorry. And no, I'm not saying that he's a choke artist. I mean, this guy, again, I think this is his second or third time in the offs in his entire career.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he's the best player on the fucking planet and a godlike specimen, but playoffs are also a new creature to him. Like, dude, if they don't win this series, blow the whole team up, man. I hate this. I hate the depth of this
Trade
team.
McDavid, trade Dry, like just
do
fucking
everyone a favor and get
And,
the
like,
fuck out of there.
I bet if the Oilers lose this series, there's gonna be those little fucking idiots on the internet blaming it on McDavid.
Oh yeah,
like dude,
choke artist.
Oh my god,
he's playing.
What
he's literally
else
playing
can
with
this dude do?
He's playing with stick figures. The people that he plays with aren't real. They're stick figures. They're little action figures. They're not real people.
And
he's the only reason they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I did see Ehlers was skating like as of a few days ago, I think. So
good.
If he comes back in a couple games into the series, dude,
good for
and
Winnipeg.
they still scored 4 without him, which I remember, dude, the guys who scored for the Jets too. I mean, Pullman scored, Tony Nato scored, Kyle Connor scored, of course.
Empty
Blake
netter.
Wheeler.
Those no, but
Oh,
those
the
two were
last
empty
two were
netters.
empty netters.
Yes.
So yeah, dude, those two non-empty netter goals were Pullman and Tony Nato. Like that's depth
Yeah,
scoring,
Pullman.
dude. Like that's not your, not your typical goal scorer. So I mean, if you can do that without Ehlers and then Ehlers comes back, dude.
And if Hellebuck can
Watch
play as
out.
well as he did, like
Yeah.
I actually before we submitted our brackets, I had Edmonton in 6 at the beginning. And then last second I was like, you know what? Fuck Winnipeg. And I went Edmonton in 4.
I have Edmonton in 5, dude.
I have Edmonton in 5.
Yeah.
So they'll just
dude.
sweep from here on
We
out.
gotta get 4
Exactly.
straight here.
Yeah.
But I mean,
hate
it's
this
just
series.
clearly all it takes is shutting down McDavid and Draisaitl. All it
That game
takes.
pissed me off. Can we move on?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate that. That
how
game
about
was
Avs
bullshit.
Blues, dude?
Yes.
Because I mean, we got Avs are up 2-0 in that series. They won the first game 4-1, and then the second game last night Wednesday night was the second game. My bad.
Yeah.
They won that 6-3, and also in that game, vintage first round Nazem Kadri with the hit to the head.
I don't get it. It's in his DNA. He can't help it. I bet.
I was talking to a couple of my friends from about this. Like I was liking Kadri this regular season. I was loving the way he played. He was doing well, but
he stayed away.
And I
from
was
player
rooting for him.
safety.
I was rooting for him in this playoff run here, but
it's the Toronto curse. It followed him.
I don't get it.
With him.
I just don't understand. Does he have a problem? Like, is this like a mental issue that he actually has, where like he needs to get his fix or something? I don't get it. I really
it's only the first round of playoffs, dude.
That's
like,
but dude, that's
so
what I'm
weird.
saying. I mean, I don't think he's ever been to the second round, but like still,
no.
Like
I don't even have to specify first round, just playoffs.
Yeah, like dude, come on! You didn't do anything all regular season. You were a good little boy, and then you get the playoffs.
Goals, you were. Yeah,
it's that emotional spike. It's these guys like they don't know. He played in Toronto his whole career. He doesn't know how to handle the playoffs. But I mean, you laugh, but it's true. He doesn't know. Like these guys don't know how to control those emotions because they've never like really need to dial it in before.
He's like a horny little 8th grader at the 8th grade dance, man.
Just grabbing and touching and going.
Yeah. Just banging heads, man. Smashing heads.
But I mean, I had Colorado in 7 in that series actually.
Really?
Now I think they're gonna take it in 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I thought the Blues would. I thought the Blues would give them a run for their money, but
you know what, dude? That's a good bet though. Like if any team was gonna be like a dark horse, been there before type guys, it's probably them.
All those teams that like I hate to see win just always win. Like I hate seeing the Knights win and they just win. Like they're obviously just sick, and I hate seeing the Blues win and they just.
Why do you guys hate the Knights so much?
I don't
both
know.
do not like the Knights.
Dude. I honestly, they're not even like one of the more hated teams for me. It's just the fact that like they came in out of nowhere and were just already sick.
I think
I love that. But like no, I love that they did that, but like they didn't have to go through the struggle, dude.
You know what it is for me?
Well,
I think it's personally, for whatever reason, I think I have like a mental issue where it's the colors of their jersey that make me just want to throw them all through a wall.
They make me hungry.
It makes me want to kill all of them. I just hate them. I don't know. I know. I'm sorry. That got really scary. But
yeah,
But going back to Colorado, St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had Colorado in 6. I think like you, Brett, I thought St. Louis would give them kind of a run for their money, and we'll see if they can. Game 3 is in St. Louis tonight, I think.
You know what they say? It's a series does not start until a home team loses.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. But no, to finish my point. So I thought Colorado would take him to, or I'm sorry, I thought St. Louis would take him to 6, give him a run for their money. But then I watched Makar and McKinnon play, and I thought, no way. Never mind.
I was like, I forgot how good they are.
I forgot how.
Bennington looks good too. Like he actually looks pretty solid for
Yeah,
what he has in front of him
a lot of
and
the
what's shooting
goals.
on him.
A lot of the goals the other night were screens. They were tips.
Yeah.
Like McKinnon took 3 shots or I'm sorry, 2 shots from the point. One was tipped, and one was seeing eye shot, just went in. So
That's
he
what I
hasn't
like.
he hasn't played bad, but you're playing McKinnon, who everything he touches turns to gold, and it's going to go in the net.
Did you see the stat where it was point per game career playoffs with minimum 40 games played? The highest of all time are Gretzky, Lemieux, and McKinnon.
He's at 1.27, and then Crosby, for example, is at 1.09.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
I don't even have that written down. I
Crosby
just fucking know
is
that.
at 1.09, and McKinnon is at 1.27. So
I mean,
Wow.
dude, look at the bubble year last year. Like he was like during that run last year in the offs, I was convinced that he was better at that point in time than McDavid. I thought he was
Remember
the
that.
best hockey player on the planet.
I thought you were a psychopath.
Dude, but did you see him?
No,
like,
dude.
I'm not saying like in general. Like, yeah,
No,
I'm
I
just
know.
saying like there's gonna be stretches of times where some players just get fucking hot like that, and
No, I mean,
man,
we're obviously
he's-
gonna see playoff McKinnon more than playoff McDavid, it seems. So, I mean, there's McKinnon's chance to prove himself.
And
more.
I
McDavid
love. No, I agree, and I love how chippy that series is. I
yeah.
love how tough that series is. There's a
Mhm.
lot of bad blood there, and everything after the whistle. It was at the end of the game the other night too. Like it's fun to watch that.
Mhm.
Um, but I think Colorado's too dominant. I think they had
Yeah.
50 shots on game shots on net. I'm sorry, in game 2. Like they're too dominant for the St. Louis team.
They just do hockey the right way. Just to put it simple, they just do hockey well.
All it takes a win.
That's all you got to do if you want to win.
Do it right.
Do hockey. Do some good hockey. I thought Randon's also looked really good, like
Yeah.
back to his OG self. And one guy just, man, I wish this guy got more credit around his name. Is Sam Gerard, as a D man in my
Love him.
prior life, like I've reinstated. He does so many things so well. He's if Mike Riley was on steroids, that's Sam Gerard. Just a defenseman that's gonna make that easy play all the time. You don't see a lot of hiccups, and it is just so solid on both sides of the puck, man. I think I got a little man crush on Sam Gerard. I think I
him
do.
and
He's that good.
him and Devontae's, I think, are two very underrated defensemen. But unfortunately, playing with Kel McCarr, Kel's always going to get the spotlight.
Yeah,
I think that made the most underrated D line in the entire league. Or D-core.
Do they play together as
D-core.
partners?
D-core.
Yeah,
I meant to say D-core.
Yeah. Because has McCarr been playing with Taze mostly?
Well, I don't know exactly
know.
because I feel like they bounced.
I feel like
Because I
maybe
remember
they switched it around
Graves.
a
I
lot.
know, like last
I
year,
forgot
he
about
was
Graves,
he was
yeah.
with Graves a lot because Graves
Yeah.
is like a nice shutdown guy. Another young
Yeah.
kid who I love too. I love his game. He's
Yeah.
he's kind of like their Brandon Carlo without as much size. Not that
Or
much
swag.
shorter. Yeah, way less swag. And that's all it's about is clout and swag. No one really cares about rings anymore. It's all about how much money you make and how much clout you have. But yeah, man, I don't see a team. I don't see how you can run into the Colorado Avalanche in the playoffs and just be like, we have a shot. we could take them in 6. I don't see how a team could think that right now.
So their decor
Yeah.
online it has Taze with McCarr, Graves with Gerard, and also underrated Nemeth with
Vet.
Timmins, who I've never heard of.
I like Timmins. Connor Timmins.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I've heard a little bit about him, dude.
But that's a sick decor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that whole core is good, but even specifically the top 4, dude, that's just 3 underrated defensemen, literally, and then McCarr, who's obviously
Connor
not underrated.
Timmins stepped up too
Yeah.
in that bubble when remember how injury plagued that
Yeah.
Colorado team was. He stepped up big time. That's a guy in your lineup that he's a third line guy, but if you need him to step up, he'll do his role. I like that
Yeah.
Timmins kid a lot. D guy.
Um,
D guy Raf. Oh wait, no. Fuck, that sounds awful.
Who's the
Brett,
weirdo now?
I know. Brett starts the episode off with like, I
got
just
a
put a
banana in
banana. I got a banana in me. I'm like, D guy Raf. DJ Beck. DJ Raf.
um,
Yeah.
so I was gonna bring up the Wild and Knights series next. I know me and AIDS had the Wild winning that in our brackets. Who did you have, Raf?
Wild in 7 though. I had 7.
So did I.
Oh, okay.
Did
then
we
yeah.
I think we all
have the
did Wild
Wild
and
in
7 in that. So I think we're all rooting for the Wild there. But one thing I'm just noticing right now, so the Wild are down 2-1 in that series, but in game 1, which the Wild won, they had 30 shots and scored 1 goal. And the next game they had 35 shots and scored 1 goal. And in game 3, they had only 16 shots but scored 2 goals. Like,
Huh.
which is just
It's Flurry.
yeah. But like also, dude, so with the Wild being down, the Wild won game 1 in OT 1-0, and I was like, oh, dude, like
Yeah,
let's go, like they're
Raf's
feeling it.
Erickson Eck takes the cake there.
Yeah, so I was like,
Yep.
okay, they're feeling it, and then Vegas gets the next 2. They're obviously up 2-1 right now, but specifically game 3 last night, the Wild were up 2-0 in like the second period, and then all of a sudden it's 3-2, and then the Knights won 5-2, and I was like,
Yep.
bro, and like
No idea.
the Wild are getting 16 shots, man. Like
Yeah.
that's why you blew that lead, because you only had 16 shots.
Yeah.
Like, and they have like, I mean, obviously guys who can, not like any like crazy goal scorers. I mean, Kirill obviously put up plenty of goals, but you know, Erickson can score, Fiala, Zuccarello, whatever. But dude, they got to shoot, especially on goalies like Fleury and Leonard, whichever one's in. I'm still confident they can pull off that series.
Yeah.
But
I
if
think
they
so.
can get this game 4, yes. If they go down 3-1,
No way.
that might be the end of
Vegas
it.
is
But
too veteran heavy. They
Yeah.
they'll stomp on their necks when they're down.
yeah, if they can
They're not
tie it
gonna
up
be able
2-2 though, dude, that's gonna be an
Yeah.
interesting next few games.
Dude.
It's. Oh, were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say I was so depressed waking up after going to bed, seeing that it was 2-0 Wild, my
Yeah.
favorite team right now in the
Yeah.
league, and then I woke up 5-2. I almost just said I'm not doing the podcast today. A mental health day.
I said fuck out loud. I saw the score. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck.
The fuck, man.
Um,
5 straight.
I know. No, I had 2 things about this series. One, like you just talked about, Brett. I think the Wild have played really well this season, but it's where are they going to get those goals from in the playoffs? Obviously, Kirill really good, but where are they going to get their goals from? How are they going to get their guys to score on Fleury? So that was the one question that I had, and the other one was I wanted to compare this series to the Boston Washington series. Obviously, last night was not a blowout, but it was far
Little tickle toucher.
not as close as the Bruins games have been.
Yeah.
But I think just in terms of matchup, I think both teams match up pretty well against each other. They're
Yeah.
tight checking, tight skating games where like that first game, it was 1-0 in OT. It's a tight ass game right there.
Mhm.
So I just think there's a lot of similarities between those 2 series just based on how the teams are built. But if Minnesota's going to win this series in 7, like we all have them, they need to win tomorrow night, Saturday night,
Yeah.
and they need to get some scoring.
Yeah.
Amen. Preach. Let them know.
I don't know if like I didn't watch all 5 of the Knights goals. I think I saw like one of them, but I didn't watch all 5 of them. So I don't know if they were on Talbot or not. They might have been, but I doubt maybe a couple of them were, but I'm sure most of it was breakdowns in the zone. But any other thoughts on that series, or should we move on to the?
I have 3 words. Wild in 7.
Let's fucking go.
Yes.
Fired up. I'm not. So what do we have left? I think we just have Carolina.
Nashville,
Mm.
Carolina, which I think is going to be the
Carolina.
most the funnest hockey to watch on TV,
Dude.
just because those are going to be the 2 most packed buildings.
And those in the Florida ones have impact.
Yes.
obviously. But dude, whoa, I was about to just butcher his name. The Nedeljkovic, that goalie.
He's a fucking
Tough
superstar.
name. Dude, his story fires me up.
He's a
Yeah.
rock
On
star.
waivers before the season, they didn't want him. He cleared him. He comes in like what 14-5-1 in the regular season or something like that,
Calder
with
trophy.
like 3 shutouts, or it might have even been 4 or 5 shutouts, and then and now he's killing it in playoffs, 2-0 with a
Yeah.
shutout last night, or was it last night? My days are all off. Or was it 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago.
It's
2 nights
Friday right
ago.
now.
Dude, my day hasn't started yet.
He's
It's
also
not.
a
It's not
Calder.
noontime yet.
No, literally, my brain won't be turning on until 3. He's also a Calder Trophy winner too. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Because I remember he's a 2014 draft pick. Because like I've said before on this pod, is Carolina Hurricanes guy.
I was like, what is he doing?
And I thought he was gonna be in the league a lot earlier because he was that good. He's an American boy. You wouldn't expect that with his
is
name.
he?
I remember
Grew
when
up
I
2
looked him up
hours
and I
outside
saw
Ohio.
that, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
2 hours away
Yeah.
from Ohio. He's born and
Yeah.
raised. He played 2 in the World Juniors for America. America, shut up, dude. The United States. I believe it was 2014,
He was drafted
15.
at 14.
He was,
Then,
yeah.
probably.
And yeah, I really thought he was gonna like turn out a lot quicker and be like an elite goaltender from the start. But just goes to show, we've said this many times on this pod, it takes goalies so much longer to develop.
Yep.
Dude.
And look at him now, man. Pays off.
And like he after the shutout, he was doing like a post game interview where like they bring the guy out to the bench and like all the fans are still in the building, and like he was asked like the questions or whatever, and like he had to wait like a minute to like answer them because the crowd was just going nuts for him just sitting there. They were just standing, just screaming. I was like, dude, he's their guy.
If that's me,
Guy.
man, I'm just like going, I'm like throwing like my hands up, just trying to get him fired up. I'm gonna take my shirt off. I don't even know this, but I don't know how I'd act in a building that packed. That's like so hyped.
I know.
So, 2 things that I wanted to note. The first one, I'm curious to get your guys' take on it because I think it's a funny stat. 17 penalties combined in 2 games.
Yeah.
For the Kane series, I assume you mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
7 for Carolina, 10 for Nashville. Which is I think is insane. 17 penalties combined in 2 games.
Are you talking minutes or
Penalties.
oh, like just
Period.
straight up?
Yes.
Period.
Wait, is that supposed to be a lot?
I think that's a ton.
Yeah, and yeah, 10 is a lot. Cause think about that.
Preds-
It's
Yeah,
5
I mean that's like
penalties
5
per game.
I guess.
Preds
Yeah.
took 7 the other night.
In one game?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's
They
a
took
lot.
they
then.
took 7
Yeah.
in game 2, 3
when you
in
said
game
7
1,
Oh, okay.
and then Carolina
I
had
see.
4 in game 1 and 3 the other night. I'm sorry, maybe that's on me. I thought 17 penalties combined was a lot. Again,
It's not
you-
like it's definitely not a
17.
little amount.
No,
It's definitely
yeah.
not a little.
It's just, but I'm thinking like, what was the game the other night that had? Oh, it was the Bruins Caps in the first period, dude. There was like no 5-on-5 play, or no,
yeah.
was it? Or was it the
Yeah.
Panthers Lightning?
Well, no,
Shit,
then
I
we
can't
had-
remember.
There was 4-on-4. There was like
probably
3
both.
4-on-4s in the Bruins game.
Yeah,
in
that was the
game-
Bruins. Okay, I don't know
Yeah.
why I thought it was. But yeah,
all right, I'll
Yeah,
just
no,
shut up
that's
then. Never mind.
not teams I'd expect to take a lot of penalties. No, I was getting to that. Those aren't teams I'd expect to take a lot of penalties.
thank
I
you.
mean, I don't think so. At least not the Canes. Maybe the Preds a little bit, but the Canes definitely not. Did you say which team had 10 out of the 17?
Nashville.
Nashville. Okay. But still, dude, Canes. Yeah, Canes, I don't expect to take that many penalties.
Well, I wouldn't be worried about the Canes because the Predators haven't scored a power play goal.
True.
No, I do.
I
was going to say that.
5-on-3, dude.
I was going to say that.
On the
but
Predators, though, I'm not
Yeah,
taking
I would
penalties
just
against the
slash someone in the
Canes.
back of the head just to see if they could score a goal.
So yeah, okay. So I'll shut the fuck up with that stat then.
This second
maybe my
stat better be
my
coming in hot.
Stat. Well, it's not a stat. I was just gonna say. I know you're a big Canes fan. I'm also through you. I'm a big Canes fan now. But and you know I love Carolina. But going back 2 years ago, when the Bruins swept them in the conference final, I love Carolina's game. I love their speed. I love their skill. I love what they're capable of. But I don't think they have the brawn to go far in the playoffs. I don't think they have enough like grit or brawn to win a Stanley Cup. You can't win strictly on skill and speed. And I think they could fly to the conference final and
Mm-hmm.
maybe even the finals too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think if you're going to go up against a team like who I don't know what the matchups could be because everything's
It depends
messed
on
Sorry,
the
up.
seeding.
I made a surprised face when you said that, and it wasn't because of your take. It was because you used the word brawn, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What?"
I fucking
Bronny
know it.
They don't have enough Bronny James.
They don't have enough
My
brawn.
first thought was Justin Braun, and I was like, "Wait."
So they,
There's only
they're
one.
either going to play a team from the north or they're going to play a
Yeah,
team from the west.
Yeah,
So
that
imagine
whole
imagine
reseeding.
Carolina against a Colorado. Like
but
Colorado's just
well, that's my
big.
final matchup. I had them in the finals together.
That's
See, I
right, you
think
do.
Colorado would win that, but
But
it'd be a
They're
good
let me
just
series.
tell you this though.
yeah.
So when you say Braun, are you thinking? I need a question to ask
hmm
first.
hmm
Are you saying like your Braun as in like your Kevin Miller Braun, or are you talking about like guys that may not be fighters, but they play heavy?
Or
The
is it like a Justin Braun?
Shut up! You're not a part of this right now.
go think about Justin Braun, dude.
Okay,
I
I'll mute myself.
I think it's guys who play heavy. I don't think that they're a big strong team. I think they're quick. I think they're skilled and I love that
Mhm.
about them, but I don't think they don't have a lot of like grit. They beat people with speed and their
Mhm.
their work ethic, but I don't
Mhm.
think they have enough like grit and grind, you know?
Coach is their grittiest player.
I'll agree and I'll disagree. I'll agree in the fact that they don't really have their tough guy. They don't really have,
Mhm.
Brock McGinn. He's not really your tough guy.
No.
He's a tougher
He's a
dude, but
tough guy, but he's
he
not
can't be
like
your A1.
yeah.
But what I'll disagree here is that they finish their hits and they play hard and they play with fast intensity and they're finishing their hits and they put a lot of pressure on teams on that
Mhm.
forecheck. And that's what Rod the Bod Brindamore has tried to instill on them too is finish the hit, finish the play, going heavy, going hard. Yeah, they're a team built for skill and speed, and that's their game. But they also, I don't think they sacrifice all that skill and speed to not play heavy and finish their hockey hits. I mean, it doesn't take a fucking tough guy to finish a hit, but
Mhm.
I don't think in no way are they soft or anything like that.
No, I don't. I'm not saying they're soft because I do. Like, I think the fact that Brindamore is their coach helps that physical aspect of
Mhm.
the game a lot, encouraging those players to
Definitely.
finish their checks. My thing is just like, would they be able to withstand a team like a bigger, heavier team? Like are they gonna like? I know that they can finish their checks. They can be hard on the forecheck. They can kill people with speed,
Mhm.
but are they going to be able to handle a bigger team beating down on them?
I think so. I mean, you give some credit to not only to like the Dougies or Eric Stahl, the taller,
hmm
bigger frame guys, Shevchenikov.
He's a big fella.
Do not sleep on this kid. I love this kid, not because he can just put the puck in the back of the net. He's electric. He's a Russian player, and he plays big, and he finishes everything, and he
Yeah.
plays where he's not going to back down, and that's what I really like about him. And then like the Martinuks, and I mean Martinuk's the fucking captain.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, they maybe wouldn't match up well against like a Vegas, but I was saying that I think they're not going to back down, and I think they're gonna elevate what they need to do as a team to meet Vegas or maybe like I mean, I don't think Toronto's really a bigger team. I don't think Colorado's really necessarily a bigger team. So Vegas is really the only team right now that, if we're talking about size and brawn, that is a threat.
Yeah.
I really high on these Canes this year, man.
And you know what? I hope they prove me wrong. I hope you prove me wrong. I hope they prove me wrong because I want them to win. I'm
Nedeljkovic, man. He's the
I'm just
only.
that's my only
Yeah,
concern is like,
yeah.
would they be able to withstand a bigger, heavier team?
Because name the last time a team has won with a tender that, I don't want to say an all-star tender, because you had, I mean, Binnington, I guess, was playing like an all-star, but he was a rookie. Like, Nedeljkovic isn't really that 1A guy yet.
Mhm.
So that's my only hole is, yeah, he's hot playing wise. He's not that bad looking either. He's hot right now. He clearly has some skill to him and is looking like a future top X whatever 15-10 goaltender in the league. Can he keep that going against playoff teams for 3 more rounds after this? That's what
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not sure of, and that's
See.
what makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Kane's guy.
Don't forget about Brett Pesci too. Sick name.
Yeah. Yeah. Him, Slavin. They got the decor, they got the
Just like
forwards.
his name.
And know who Brett Sladden. What's he called? Know who looked good too, and he's a pickup this year is Fogel.
He was literally
Coming
when I
back.
thought of Brett Pesci, I also thought of Warren Fogle too.
He
I like
he has
him.
a goal. He's scored, and he's looked good. He's looked like that
Yeah.
that depth type of winger that you need, man.
He's just
And
doing Fogle things.
he's Fogling out here, McLovin it.
Fogling.
Fogling. Put that on a shirt. We Fogling out here. I'm Fogling with the fellas. Are we done?
right,
I don't.
hot
Are we done with
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hot seat.
Um.
Who wants to go
So
first?
I'll go first. So because I don't want either of you to pick them, but I'm gonna go with my Panthers. They have this next. So they took game 3, which was in Tampa, dropped the 2 in Florida. Hopefully they can get this second one in Tampa, and then they're back in Florida. So if they can get this next game and tie it 2-2 and then go back to Florida for they're all in Florida, go back to Sunrise, Florida for the 5th. That would be huge. So again, like when they were down 2-0 going into this game 3, obviously, it was a must win. If you go down 3-0 to the Lightning, you're not coming back. I think same thing goes for 3-1. If they go down 3-1, it's pretty much over. So just another must win game for them until they catch up and tie this series, and then maybe hopefully get ahead 3-2.
Hell yeah, brother. Aids, you want to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Edmonton. So first, I want to say, I don't think that I will be a part of next episode.
Oh yeah,
right.
preface that. Tell the
That's right.
people.
Unless-
tell the people.
So unless we record on Monday, but I assume you guys will
Say.
just do Tuesday. I am going on a week-long road trip starting Monday into Tuesday night. We're leaving at midnight, going to DC, and then
Austin,
driving,
Texas.
and then driving straight through to Austin, fucking Yexus. So, just me and some boys from home. My buddy Pat, Anthony, Ben. I know they listen to the pod. My girlfriend
Hell
Emily.
yeah.
Fuck
and
you,
then,
Pat.
And then Pat's girlfriend Maddie. We're all heading down. Got an Airbnb in Austin. We're gonna tear it up. We're gonna go enjoy mask-free America. It's gonna be a great, great time. We're all vaccinated, and so I don't know if I'm gonna send like a video in or anything that I'll have our producer guy
Please.
Brett.
Video.
Please send this
But-
stupidest
Yeah, you can
video
send.
of all
We'll get a
time.
message from AIDS. We'll get a message
But-
from AIDS.
For all of you listening right now, I am so sorry for what you're going to deal with next week with these two. I like to think that even if I don't say anything, I kind of help ground everyone here. So I am so
What?
I
Dude, me and Raph are so much more grounded.
Yeah, we're the grounders.
yeah, fucking my point exactly. So everyone, I know they're gonna give you a good time. I know it's gonna be fun. I know they're just gonna their Bluetooth is already connected. I can feel it. I can fucking hear it. But get ready because it's gonna be an interesting episode. So Edmonton,
Yeah.
no, Edmonton
Yeah.
plays again tonight. Right? Today's Friday, right? Yeah. They play
Yes.
tonight in Winnipeg, or I'm sorry, in Edmonton, and then they play back to back, which is weird. They play
Oh,
Sunday.
really?
They play Sunday and Monday in Winnipeg. Not sure why.
I remember them saying the Canadian series might have to each do one back to back somewhere in
Yeah.
there just to like catch up to the US ones
Makes
real
sense.
quick.
I
But
don't know if I like.
I guess,
but
yeah, I don't know.
I think
Sacrifices.
McDavid, you got to pick it up. You got to. I know Winnipeg kind of rolled and played really good defensively against you, and I will give them credit for that. But I think you gotta split it in your own barn. You got to win at least one, and then you got to at least split it on Sunday or Monday. Um,
Yeah.
2-1 preferably, but we'll see.
Oh yeah. And lastly, I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Wild. You know, I don't think you can afford to go down 3-1 to this Vegas team. You know, you had a lead. I think for this next game, game 4, just find the third gear. That's all I'm gonna say is find that third gear, find that extra push, dig a little bit deeper, and you boys should be good to go. And then you'll bring in a game 7, win it, and we'll look like geniuses over here at Buddy Pass Podcast for that series. So, yeah, me and Brett just want to wish you aids safe travels. I hope
Yeah,
the
for
ball
sure.
of yarn that you see in Austin, Texas, the Great Ball of Yarn, is amazing. Maybe toss some cool little videos or content stuff up on the gram for the people to see.
true. Yeah.
You know, just a nice little away from hockey moment. If you don't mind, please leave your buddy Pat there and don't bring him back. Me and Brett are so pissed at him.
I'll see what I can do. Maybe we'll turn his alarm off on Sunday, so he sleeps through when we're supposed to leave the Airbnb, and we'll just take off without him.
Saboteur.
Yep.
Mhm.
So yeah, so
Wait, now he knows
Yeah.
it's gonna happen though. He's gonna listen to this.
Pat, if you're listening to this, fuck you.
Brett, can you cut that? Can you cut
Yep.
that out?
Yep.
So yeah, that's the first round playoff review so far. Sorry, it came out a little bit later. We just, we had some things to do. Super busy lifestyle for the adults here over at
Busy
Buddy
gentlemen.
Pass Podcast. Yeah, busy gentlemen. Just business stuff. You guys get it. We're pretty famous now. We have like 500 followers on the gram, so yeah, go like that.
Almost 540.
Almost 540. Don't want to brag, but yeah, next week will just be me and co-host Brett Hibbets, and yeah. So to everyone, enjoy the playoffs. We hope your team loses or wins. Bruins are a wagon. Canes are a wagon. Enjoy the weekend. Some great weather. Listen to some rock music. Maybe have a bev. Later, everyone.